G'day, my name's Tomo and welcome to another episode of Tomo's Tune-Ups. On this episode we are working on the cylinder head for the Morris Minor, and on this episode I'm going to show you how to install valves, double row valve springs, collets, spring retainers, and most importantly, valve stem seals. Alright folks, so let's jump straight into it. I have the cylinder head right here, so let's just readjust the camera and we can have a look at what I've got going on down here. So we have a bag of goodies, everything has been labelled, and we're all ready to start the reassembly process. As you can see, I've already started reassembling the cylinder head and I've already got some of the valves in there. So let's go through what we're going to be fitting exactly. Alright, so a lot of these principles go for a lot of cylinder heads. They might vary depending on what you're working on, but essentially it's all the same. So we have two different size valves. We have the inlet and the exhaust valve. The inlet valve is significantly bigger than the exhaust because the air is more dense when it comes in, whereas when it's burnt, it is compressed and therefore it needs a small valve to escape the cylinder. On this particular engine, we are running a set of double row valve springs. It's not necessary for all engines, but we decided to do it because it will help prevent valve float and also valve bouncing. Not that the customer is going to be bounced off the limiter, but it is a good measure. When running a set of double row valve springs, you need a retainer at the bottom. This retainer helps to seat the bottom of the inner spring, which then seats directly on the inside of the cylinder head. We have the collar. So this is what retains the collets, and this is what holds everything together. So let's just pull apart this spring and let's have a look. So in here, it sits directly like this with the valve up inside there like that. Now, how does this attach to the valve and prevent the spring from coming out? So in order to secure the valve to the spring and to the retainer, you need a set of collets, which are these little suckers right here. They go on either side of the valve, and that's all that locks in the top of the retainer up inside there and holds the spring to the cylinder head. As the valve gets pushed down, it gets pushed down on the top part here, which then pushes it down inside the cylinder and then returns with the force of the spring. So these two little collets, that's all that holds the valve to the spring and prevents it dropping inside the cylinder. So hopefully you can see there. If not, I'll put a picture up to the side. It does have a step on either side of the valve. The collets also have a little recess, and depending on the type of collets you use and valves, you need to make sure that they match. So in our case, it sits directly there, just like that, and retains it in there. As this is tapered on the inside, it causes it to keep friction on there, which then prevents them coming undone. One of the most vital components of all of this is the valve stem seal. We've all seen a car take off from a set of lights and blows a heap of smoke, or even start up an old car and find that it's blowing smoke. Once it starts to warm up, it goes away. Chances are, this is what is leaking. The little garter spring here fails over time, along with the rubber. As it gets hot and cold, becomes brittle, goes hard, and then leaks oil down inside here, which leaks oil down all the way inside the valve, goes inside the cylinder, and then gets burnt. So it is a crucial component when rebuilding cylinder head to make sure you replace these. All right, so let's jump straight into it. So in our case, if I just flip this over, you can see the two different size ports. So we have the exhaust and we have the inlet port. So the valve will only go in one side without it being in the wrong position. So in that case, this one is going to go here. So with a little bit of force on the back of it with my finger, we're just holding the valve in. We don't need to at the moment, but it is an idea just to keep your finger there. So next thing we need to fit is the valve spring retainer for the inner valve spring itself. So that'll slide directly just down on there on top of the valve guide. The valve guide is this here, and that is literally what it does, is it guides the valve. So once we have the retainer down around the outside here, we're then going to grab a valve stem seal. That's just going to push on directly all the way down, and it's going to lock in just on top of the valve guide. And that's going to sit on there like that. So we've got that on there. We're almost complete. That bit sits directly on there. Now what we need to do is compress the valve spring in order for it to compress it properly so we can get the collets on there and then release the spring tension, and bam, Bob's your auntie. All right, so next thing we're going to be doing is grabbing our valve spring compressor, which is this here, and I'll show you guys in a minute what it is, but also look at the video I've done in the link in the description above. Now, because this one doesn't compress all that much, what I'm doing is running a socket on the bottom side of the valve. That way it'll just help give me a little bit more clearance, and then we're just going to fit it over the top of the valve and then compress it and put the collets in. So once you're happy with where it is, you're then going to be compressing it. So compress it all the way down until it comes to a complete stop. Once it's compressed all the way down, you can now see how much of the top of the valve is actually showing. So what we need to be doing now is grabbing our two collets. So they only go one way, so make sure that you fit them the correct way. And be fitting one on one side. You might need to give the tool a little bit of a wiggle just to loosen it up, as it may have just gotten caught on the retainer on the top of the valve. Once those are in there and you're satisfied with it, you can then release the spring tension. Now I generally just put my finger over the top just in case it decides to let go and send them flying. Terrific. So that has secured them properly. Now with the removal of the tool, we can ensure that they are seated properly. Now I'll just try and get a close up for you just so you can properly see. But you can see down in here, the top of the collet is just on the edge. I'll just reposition the light so you can see a bit better. There we go. You can see the top of the collets are just hanging out. So it does have a groove on the outside, but it is completely recessed. So if you have a look at the gap between the top of the valve and the collet, it is the same all the way along. Well, essentially that's how you fit a set of double row valve springs, collets, spring retainers, and most importantly, valves and valve stem seals to a cylinder head. As I said, this process is exactly the same for other makes and models. They just vary just a little bit. Now, make sure as well that you get the right valves and collets to suit the type of setup that you're running. If you don't, you're gonna have a pretty bad time. Now, once you've done one, all the other valves are done exactly the same. You can do this in the car in regards to replacing the valve stem seals, but you do need special tools to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you right here on another episode of Tomo's Tune-Ups.